For more than a century, tobacco farming helped to shape the lives and culture of folks in East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Western North Carolina. Because of legal and economic issues, a lot of farmers that raise tobacco no longer do so. Now, the ETSU Department of History is conducting its first History Harvest to preserve the legacy and heritage of tobacco farming and culture in our region. Dr. Tom Lee is here to share with us how you can get involved in this big project.
Hey, Chris, thanks for having me.
Here.
I appreciate it. Thank
This
you.
is important. I mean, my family grew tobacco when I was younger. A lot of people that I knew growing up, they grew tobacco, and it wasn't, a lot of people had jobs, but they grew tobacco too. And it's just a part of our culture.
It absolutely is. I think one of the significant elements that tobacco played, not only did it help sort of supplement industrial wages or non-farm wages, it was the kind of crop you could grow, you could go work in a factory job or service job, whatever it may be, even professional job, and then you could come back and still maintain the limited acreage that it required to have tobacco. And the same thing with the farm. For a lot of farmers, that was the cash crop that really made the money, along with beef cattle. And we used to have some poultry and other assorted things, but tobacco was the one constant, and it provided a means of staying on the farm.
Right. And tell us about the History Harvest. Tell us about this project, because this first part of the project, you're wanting to deal with the history of tobacco in our region.
Yeah, let me first say what a History Harvest involves is it's an effort to locate and preserve items of historical significance. And it may be that people thinking about tobacco, they don't always think, well, that's necessarily historically significant, but the thing is, it's something that I grew up with, you grew up with, and it absolutely shaped this area. So what we're really looking for, and it's one reason I appreciate you having me on, we're looking for people who worked with tobacco, who grew tobacco, maybe marketed, worked in auction, warehouses, whatever it may be, to get in touch with us and let us know what materials they may have. And by materials, I mean letters, documents, journals, pictures, photographs, even three-dimensional artifacts like tools that they may have used, or memorabilia, ephemera of all different sorts, maybe like warehouse receipts.
Right. We were just looking at some photos we had up here that you had sent us. A lot of folks, they bale tobacco now. When it goes to market, it's in big bales.
Right.
But we had to hand it. And a lot of folks don't know how that is almost a lost art.
It is, I think, in
and
many ways
I think a lot of people want to know about that, and what a tobacco axe is, and what a spear is, and a tobacco basket, and things of that nature. You would love to have pictures. You would love for people to even bring those and let you photograph them, and all sorts of memorabilia.
And that's what we'll be doing. Once we locate as many people as we can, we'll bring as many as we can to campus in early April, and we'll have the digital technology. A colleague of mine, Kim Woodring, has taught a digital history course, and so we'll have students helping us to preserve digitally what people can bring and what we can invite people to bring. We'll get as many people as we can on that day, and then we'll also try to reach out afterward to the folks who contact us. But what we're hoping to do is digitally preserve materials that I think increasingly probably are going to be lost if we don't do it now. And I'll add stories.
Yes.
We want to know people's stories, because that's so important to the history of this area and understanding, kind of how we got where we are now.
Until you've cut tobacco and handed tobacco in the barn, and then cutting it in the heat, handing it in the winter. I mean, planting it and just sowing a seed bed. It was a year-round project for families.
Absolutely, it's been called
and I love the fact that it, like you say, it sent a lot of people to college. It took care of a lot of Christmases for people.
It did, and it's people in town too. We've talked a little bit about the Burley Bowl, the big parade, the Burley Festival up in Abington. Just all over this area, it's been so significant to people's lives.
I could sit here and talk to you about it all day.
I know we could.
All right, Dr. Tom Lee, thank you. It is the History Harvest. If you want more information, you want to get involved in the History Harvest, check out that information right there at the bottom of the screen.